On this episode of Resi Week, we talk all about WiSA, including Enclave's new 5.1 systems, as well as LG's new OLEDs with WiSA built in. All this and more on this special episode of Resi Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is an AVNation special all about WiSA. Welcome to Resi Week. This is a special edition of Resi Week. This week we are talking everything about WiSA. I'm your host, Matthew Scott for AVNation.tv, and this episode we are pleased to be joined by Rob Jones. He's the COO and co-founder of Enclave. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Next, we have Brad Elbert. He is the founder of Brad's TV. How are you, sir?
Doing awesome. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. And last but not least, we have Martin Valdez. He is the product training manager for home entertainment at LG. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, all three of you, for being here. Gentlemen, I kind of want to kick this off, and Rob, we'll probably start with you. Everyone that I've talked to in the industry kind of leading up to this, I put out a bunch of feelers to talk to a lot of integrators that I know. And pretty much everyone I talk to has a working knowledge of WiSA, but very few have spec'd it, have sold it, have gone beyond it's a piece of tech that we know is out there. We just don't touch it. So what I wanted to ask you and have you kind of elaborate on is, your company just launched 2 new 5.1 systems. They're obviously WiSA certified as well as THX certified. Why did you go down the WiSA route? What's the added benefit of having THX on there? And kind of more importantly, how do you encourage dealers to go and sell based on the WiSA platform?
I mean, I think that, Enclave's kind of mission was to bring a solution to kind of an age-old problem of running wires and complex backsides of AVRs and it really empower retailers and consumers to be able to have a solution that was easy to sell, easy to install from a consumer standpoint, sounded great, and offered an improvement over the limitations that a soundbar offers, right? I mean, we certainly think and feel that if you want sound to come from somewhere, you put a speaker there. From a retailer standpoint, I think that what it does is it provides that alternate solution to a soundbar, and with a product that will set up as simply as one, but doesn't require, again, all of the headaches that go along with it. So, WiSA gave us the ability to offer that type of product. I mean, Enclave's sole focus is on wireless single room home theater. We're not trying to be everything to everybody. We're trying to be something to somebody and have a very specific mission and purpose. And that's to be able to deliver a home theater experience that, you can set up in minutes, operate in minutes, and have a great sounding system.
Very good. Brad, your company, Brad's TV, you've had a history of selling WiSA products. Why do you sell them? And kind of more importantly, how do you demonstrate the advantages, the benefits of going with a WiSA over, just what Rob alluded to, that competitor of the soundbar or the full, blown AVR based system? How do you go about selling that?
Well, kind of like to go along with what Rob said, that we like to sell the product and show customers. We live in an older senior town. There's a lot of retirement people in this town. So when it comes to showing somebody that they're going to have an amplifier and let's run wires all over your house, they're not into that.
Right.
So when in our showroom, I've actually demonstrated by hooking up to the LG OLED. I've hooked up the 5.1 system, and I'm able to, when people come in, I just show them when they start talking about audio, because you sell a TV, you got to have audio. Mm-hmm. So we just show them flat out, okay, we got different systems set up here, but I always start them now with the WiSA system to show them, okay, here's the audio you're getting, And then they really freak out when I start pulling these speakers around. I was like, look, there's no wires except they're plugged into the electricity. You have no amplifier. And by the way, you don't have to have another remote control because everything runs off of your normal TV remote control. So it just makes it to where immediately you've got the customer's attention because it's simple.
Yeah, that's very good. Martin, as kind of Brad just mentioned there, he's got his demo system hooked up to the brand new OLEDs that have WiSA built into it. What prompted the move from LG, if you can speak to that, on adding this additional format, bringing it in again in something that is not as widespread as, say, Bluetooth? What was the process and the application to bring this to your OLEDs?
Oh, well, we brought it to our OLEDs and we brought it to our nano cell TVs as well. I mean, LG has this idea. We want to make sure that we complete the audio story. And whether you're just using the TV speakers, I mean, we've got Atmos built into the TV speakers, so those sound good. You could go to a sound bar, which would be, a step up, and then you could go out to your, to your ARC systems and what have you. But then WiSA, it just completes that sound. It completes that audio story because it gives you the ability, without having to add wires, without having to go into your walls, without having to do all that extra work. With our TV paired up with WiSA, you have this super simple, easy way to get 5.1, 7.1. You got a chance to get, this amazing sound system in your house, and all you got to do is plug in the speakers. Once you have all that plugged in and you've got your dongle, your USB dongle in the back of your TV, it connects wirelessly. You go into the settings menu, you hit little sound fields so that you can know where the left, right, center, rears are. It's so simple and so easy. So LG's main thing when they were putting it into the nano cell TVs and the OLED TVs is just because one size doesn't fit all for the customers. But what we want to do is make sure that we've got all the choices for just about everybody. So we want to be the hub of your home and make it that simple. So I think that's where LG was going when like you said, you've already got Bluetooth, you've got ARC, you've got Wi-Fi. Why not WiSA, just to really fill in the missing piece, the missing piece. That's it. Just then you've got the beautiful sound any way you want it. So that's, I think, where they were.
So really that main benefit is just the simplicity of being able to go wireless.
Yeah, the simplicity of being able to bring 5.1 without putting all of those speaker wires, whether it be in your ceiling, whether it be stapled to the bottom of your floorboards. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just plug in the speakers and get yourself a beautiful 5.1 system with THX and the whole nine. So, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And
Rob,
to Martin's point, we actually just did a system this morning that I went out and put in. It actually takes longer to unbox the speakers and set them in place than it does to hook up the system.
That's exactly right.
That's fantastic. Rob, obviously, you've got the two brand new options for 5.1. Mm-hmm. Is WiSA continued or planning to just stay limited to that single room, or is that just an application on your company's approach at the moment, or is this something that can be deployed in the future for multi-room or distribution?
Yeah, so this particular version of the technology is intended for single room use. While I can't really speak to what WiSA's roadmaps are, I certainly can see a world where WiSA may want to, as a technology or as a standards, start getting into the larger whole room scenario. For us, it's been really that whole single focus. I mean, Sonos is out there; they do a great job with the whole house music product. Mm-hmm. And we are specifically, a great complement to that whole house system in that way. And I think that WiSA, it's certainly a place they could go. But I couldn't tell you, with 100% certainty, that's where it ultimately ends up.
Very good. Brad, I'm kind of glad that Rob brought up Sonos, because that is kind of the elephant in the room anytime you talk any sort of wireless audio. When you're looking at pitching or trying to convert a customer on the WiSA solution, if they happen to bring up Sonos or Hios or any of the other wireless options out there, how do you pose that conversation to show the differences between the two? How do you handle those questions?
Well, us doing a lot of this, using a lot of these other technologies in the past, it seems like there's a lot of trouble that runs. You put in systems, it seems like service call after service call after service call. We tried a bunch of the wireless speakers for TVs that you could put a speaker next to your chair and hook up a device into the TV, and you have syncing issues, and it drops out. It's there, it's not there. It's just been so cumbersome. When we went to this WiSA product, and then when we started working with Enclave on their pre-existing systems, it just took all those issues we had totally away. The LG TV, you're talking about the OLED, they've even got a syncing menu in it where if you do have issues, which we've not had, but they have the sync menu built right into the TV to help take care of that. But these multi-room systems are great, but we try to tell people if they're going multi-room as of right now, go wired. I mean, it's just you're going to have a lot better of experience down the road.
Yeah, very good. Martin, since you've added WiSA to your OLEDs, is this something that you felt people were looking for directly? Like, was it a response to a request, or was it this is a fantastic technology, let's jump on board and take advantage of it?
I think it was a little of both, honestly. I mean, like I said, we definitely wanted to make sure that we had all avenues of audio covered. Optical is easy, Bluetooth is easy, HDMI is easy. But when we heard about WiSA from the stories that I've gotten, I mean, we definitely wanted to jump on board with that as quick as possible, because we feel that that's what people are going to look for, because everybody's looking for easy. Everybody wants easy. And WiSA is exactly that. And it gives you, a wide variety of everything that you can do. I mean, it's got the ability to do what? Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby True HD, Dolby Atmos, DTSX, THX. I mean, why not be able to do everything that way, depending on if you're going to stream or if you're going to do Blu-ray or whatever you're going to do, you've got it covered because WiSA is the answer. So I think LG heard that. They know that the customers definitely want sound. We've got the picture covered. Why not just get the whole experience, which, WiSA takes care of that for sure. And with Enclave system, it just sounds, it's so beautiful. Absolutely amazing.
So let me ask just kind of one general follow-up question to any or all of you. The big takeaway I'm getting from this is essentially that in a large scheme of things, just in general, looking at the tech landscape in home cinema, home entertainment, is this another brick, another stepping stone in the death of the receiver, and seeing that aspect of the business being relegated to, ultra high-end cinema rooms? Like, are we done seeing receivers in that multi-purpose family room?
If you really look at where Enclave's coming from, I mean, we looked at the CE landscape when it came to audio. We saw panels that were getting better. The quality was getting better. Audio just wasn't keeping up to snuff. When we talk about the Sonos stuff, we talk about a lot of things that Sonos can't do. It doesn't do DTS. It doesn't do uncompressed PCM. There's a lot of limitations in not only just Sonos products, but in soundbars in general. And one of the things that really stands out is, this is a McDonald's and MP3 kind of equation, right? People want convenience and cost, right? And usually convenience and cost can equal the same thing. So, we needed to kind of realize a product that said, well, guys who are going to spend, thousands of dollars on their home theater installation aren't necessarily concerned about wires because they're paying to have them hit anyways. We need to be a solution at a cost point that is accessible to the masses and to the largest audience that really is looking for convenience above anything else, even with that thought process that, well, I'll sacrifice a little bit of quality for convenience because that people do every day. So we try and fill that gap that says you don't have to satisfy, you don't have to discard quality, and you can have the convenience. And you can do so without having to have this AVR in the mix. And, when you start to look at those equations of, what it's going to cost me for a set of speakers and then what it's going to cost me for an AVR. And we needed to have a product that was in that price point that people could reach. So anyways, in sum, I think, AVRs, yeah. I mean, I think that AVRs will become more vertical and more specialized as technology such as WiSA and, what we don't know about potentially coming tomorrow makes that number one cost and number two or vice versa convenience the factor in how people get their audio to match those wonderful panels that Martin's company makes.
Brad,
yeah, it's going to be amazing, and I think there's going to be also some manufacturers who are going to create those receivers that have WiSA built in, because, like I said earlier, everybody wants everything. Those pure audiophiles are going to want to have every option they can possibly get. So I bet you, mark my words, there are going to be some receivers out there that got WiSA involved with them.
I agree. Sure.
That's what I was thinking. Is I don't think the future of the amplifier is going to be gone, but I think it's going to make manufacturers step up and start thinking about what they're putting inside of an amp, meaning, like you said, the WiSA technology, because there's so many things to me that can be done with WiSA. And I was talking to Rob earlier about back to, everybody gets older and you start losing your hearing. And yeah, the WiSA with the surround sound that's wireless is good, but some of those people don't care about surround sound. They just want to be able to hear what the people are saying on the TV. So future-wise, I see to where you can take one speaker, hook up to the WiSA, and set it next to the customer's chair, and he will have the dialogue out of that speaker right next to him now, where he can hear the TV.
Yep, we even get some WiSA compatible headphones that it can go straight to to a nice little private headphone. And there's going to be they're going to be expanding on this. This is, I mean, WiSA receiver, WiSA inside a receiver, maybe even Wi-Fi, so they can have multi-room. I imagine the perfect receiver. Going to have WiSA, codec, a Bluetooth, the whole nine. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look at it this way. Yeah, so, if for the customer that wants an AVR solution, you have an AVR solution and you have all of the bells and whistles that comes with it, but you got the WiSA technology that says you don't have to run wires to your rears anymore.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, like Rob said, this is a missing link. This is something that was missing that now Enclave and WiSA have filled into that gap for that customer who can't just afford to do everything we're talking about, because that's a perfect world scenario right there. But Enclave has this solution with their THX, with their Pro system, and they can give you that. And then when you got an LG TV as the hub of your home, I mean, you're getting Google, you're getting Alexa, you're getting all of these apps, and you're getting WiSA with a nice Enclave system. So,
I mean, there's nothing cooler than watching an LG OLED Dolby Vision content, the new Star Wars on Disney Plus with an Enclave THX certified system. It's just, I got to tell you.
Yeah. I'll be doing that all the way up until Friday.
It doesn't suck, guys.
Not at all.
All right, gentlemen, let's leave it
makes
there.
The first movie sound good.
It does, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen, let's leave it there. Rob, if people want to connect with you, learn more about Enclave and all the products you guys have, where can they do that?
They can do that at enclaveaudio.com. They can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/enclaveaudio, Instagram, Enclave Audio, at Enclave Audio on Instagram, and on Twitter at Enclave Audio.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Brad, thank you again for joining us. If people want to connect with you, learn more about Brad's TV, where can they do that?
They can go to bradstv.com, or they can email me at brad@bradstv.com. And I'd like to say that something that helps me as a small business owner is I'm a part of Nationwide, the HTSN group, and Hank Alexander has just done an awesome job of building these awesome relationships we have with WiSA people and LG and Enclave, and it just helps us as a small company to be able to go up against the big box stores, but it also keeps us on the leading edge. So it's been really good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Martin, as well, thank you for joining us. If people want to connect with you, learn more about LG and obviously their whole suite of home entertainment products, where can they do that?
Oh, they can absolutely. They got a few places to go. They can go to lg.com/US. They can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LGE_training. And if you're a retail sales rep and you want to get some training on some of our product, you can go to www.reachlg.com for sure.
Excellent. Thank you all again for joining us. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me at Matt D. Scott on Twitter and pretty much every other social platform. But more importantly, please visit AVNation.tv, where you'll find this show as well as a wide variety of our other shows with all the verticals that we cover. When you visit the website, please take a moment to check out our supporters. We are extremely thankful for their support and ask that you check them out as well. Thanks again for watching. That's all the time we have for this special episode of Resi Week.